Hey, what's up y'all, it's Etzel. Today I want to talk about Sony zoom lenses, and if you're in the market for a Sony zoom lens, why I personally think you should buy the new Sony 24-105 G lens over the 24-70 G Master. Let's do it. In order to have this discussion, we should really talk about first prime versus zoom. Why do you use a prime? Why do you use a zoom? What's the intention behind one or the other? So we all know that primes tend to be a little sharper, they tend to be a little smaller, more lightweight, and most importantly, faster, meaning they can get down to larger apertures, aka smaller f-stop numbers, that really give you greater shallow depth of field. Zooms, on the other hand, are really sought after for their versatility, right? To be able to shoot any number of focal lengths in any given situation without having to switch lenses, just to be ready to go no matter what the situation throws at you. I find this to be really great for clients that want a large library of images of all different types. They want tight detail shots, they want wide epic hero shots. And using a zoom lens really allows me to get a lot of variety in a short amount of time, especially if the pace is moving really fast. Personally, I generally prefer primes in terms of composition. I feel like my images end up being better compositionally because I actually have to not be lazy and move and frame the photo exactly how I want. Zooming with your feet is the term for that. Oftentimes, actually most of the time, I probably end up shooting my work with zooms just because I'm shooting a library of images and I'm trying to get a whole wide range of types of imagery. So in that regard, Sony zooms have been really important to me. I used the 24-70 f4 back before they had released the 24-70 2.8 G Master lens, which they released I think 2 years ago. And since then, that really has been my go-to zoom lens. I love this thing. It's super sharp and it just creates beautiful images. Honestly, I didn't really think I was gonna sell it, and then the A7R III was announced with the 24-105 f4, and I got to demo it live in New York when the camera was announced at the press event, and was honestly like really pleasantly surprised. I was shocked at how light it felt, how small it felt, and just the range from 24 to 105 millimeters. And having used this 24-105 in Spain, shooting with Sony on a bunch of commercial projects and some personal projects, I highly recommend this 24-105 over the 24-70. Let me tell you why. The ultimate goal of a zoom lens to me, like I said, is versatility. So if you're truly looking for versatility in a lens, having that extra 35 millimeters of focal length is just that much more versatile in its use. I can get a really, really tight telephoto portrait, or I can get a super wide environmental shot. So let's talk about image quality. I'm not going to super nerd out on the specs of image quality. Let me just show you a couple portraits that I've shot both with the 24-70 and with the 24-105 at f4. And you can kind of see for yourself, like the image quality on both lenses is outstanding. I mean, a GM lens is going to outperform a regular G lens, but honestly, I can't even really tell the difference. The 24-105, once you've processed it in the Lightroom or into Capture One, and the distortion has been corrected on the wide angle, the difference is negligible. This lens is like crazy sharp, and I've been super stoked with it. I actually found some really good comparisons between the 24-70 and 24-105 in a forum online with sample images of both. So I'm gonna link that down in the description below. I can't remember the guy's name that posted them, but I will give him credit and tag those in the description if you wanna see the comparisons. I actually looked at them earlier and honestly thought when I zoomed in, 24-105 almost looked sharper, but either way, they both look equally sharp. Okay, so size and weight. So the 24-105 weighs 1.46 pounds, AKA 1.5 pounds. And the 24-70 weighs 1.96, AKA 2 pounds. So it's really a half a pound of difference between the two. But honestly, I don't know if I'm just like getting weak or something, but this 24-70 is like, just feels so much bulkier, so much heavier than this 24-105. You can also see the difference too in size. Here's the 24-105, here's the 24-70. The 24-70 is significantly bigger and it feels significantly heavier. And you know, half a pound of difference is not gonna make a huge deal if you're on a shoot, but if you're looking for versatility, it's likely that this lens is going to be on your camera for a long time. And especially when you put it on a Sony mirrorless camera that's a little bit smaller, you start to feel that half pound of difference. I traveled all over Spain with this 24-105. I've done shoots with it, and honestly, like having it on my camera all day didn't really bug me at all. and I was never outside of kind of the focal length that I wanted. And obviously, like, size and weight are kind of importance if you're using a zoom to begin with, because if weight or size wasn't of importance, you just carry around 5 prime lenses with you and just use those. Okay, finally, price. Now, this is honestly like the #1 reason that I would suggest the 24-105 over the 24-70. The 24-105 clocks in at around $1,298, basically $1,300. The 24-70 is $2,198, aka $2,200. So there's a $900 difference between these two. And honestly, to me, it feels like the advantages that you get with this 24-105 over the 24-70 in terms of size and focal length is worth it. And you're not giving too much up from f4 to f2.8 to justify the extra $1,000. And for those of you that really love that 2.8, honestly, if you want something really fast, I'd honestly recommend getting the 24-105, saving that extra $900 and putting that towards a fast prime. That way you have a lens that covers the whole spectrum, super versatile, and if you know that you want a really fast, shallow depth of field in a portrait, then get a portrait lens, get the 85, get the 55 even. That's kind of my thought process behind it. If I know I'm shooting portraits, I'm probably gonna use a prime anyway. But if I know that I want a bunch of different type of stuff, I'm going to use this zoom. Even at f4, there's still a pretty good amount of shallow depth of field too. If you're really a pixel peeper and you think that there's a huge difference between the two, I'd recommend getting a 1.8 or a 1.4 lens with the money that you save from getting the 24-105. So those are my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed the comparisons. Hopefully, if you're trying to decide between the two, this actually helps and doesn't further confuse you. I've used both. I love both lenses, but honestly, at the end of the day, I just go with the 24-105 and shoot sharp primes. Thanks for checking it out. I'm gonna post some more gear stuff, some more photography thought stuff in addition to the Make the Art episodes. I'm taking a break from Make the Art this week, but next week we're coming back with a sports soccer shoot. So cheers.